Come down a little rabbit trail with me.
All right, let's see it.
So many people have no idea how important the Tower of Babel is and what it means. The all-seeing eye is the unfinished Tower of Babel mentioned in the Bible.
The unfinished pyramid and the Eye of Providence on the Great Seal of the United States of America has absolutely no relationship whatsoever to the Tower of Babel. That story in Genesis 11 is a 7th century composition that is likely mocking the unfinished ziggurat of Etemenanke. The pyramid on the Great Seal has 13 levels. It is unfinished because it represents the 13 states and the fact that the nation is still growing. The Eye of Providence is a symbol that had been in use since the Renaissance. The triangle represents the Trinity, that's God's glory and omnipresence that is radiating out from it, and it represents God's ability to see all. Here we can see the Eye of Providence in a 16th century painting. It appears in a cemetery in Poland. It appears in France's 1789 Declaration of the Rights of Man, and it was used on one of the early draft proposals for the Great Seal of the United States, this one designed by Pierre-Eugène de Simitière. The unfinished pyramid with 13 levels originates separately. Here it is appearing on Francis Hopkinson's $50 continental currency note, which was designed in 1778. And then they come together in some of the early drafts for the Great Seal. Here we have the motto, Deo favente perennis, with God approving. And then we get the final design that was arrived at by the third committee to design the Great Seal of the United States of America. It has absolutely no relationship whatsoever to the Tower of Babel.
George Washington was a renowned Mason.
George Washington was not involved in the creation of the Great Seal.
And on the back of our $1 bill is MASON with the all-seeing eye.
This is absolutely laughable. Not only are the letters being arbitrarily ordered so as to spell out Mason without actually following the lines of the stars, but the right side of the pyramid does not intersect with the M. It intersects with the U and then the R.
But you might ask, Ryan, why is that important?
I'm not asking that because it's entirely made up and it's not important.
Let me show you this. The Washington Monument built in his honor is the tallest of its kind in the world. It is 555 feet high. Well, 555 feet times 12 inches is 6,660 inches.
So that height is rounded off. It's actually 550 feet, 5 1/8 inches high. So no, it does not equal 6,660 inches. And that height is an accident. See, in 1835, they announced a contest to see who would design the Washington Monument. And a man named Robert Mills won the contest. And he submitted this design. But it was going to be too expensive. And so they said, let's just do the obelisk without the pyramid at the top, and let's make it an even 500 feet high. And they started construction on that, and they had to stop. They eventually raised enough money to complete it with the pyramid on top. So its height is entirely incidental and does not equal 6,660 inches to begin with.
But you might ask, why is that important?
It's not, because it's also entirely made up.
I really hate to be the one to tell you this if you don't already know.
Well, I, on the other hand, am perfectly happy to be the one to explain why you are wrong.
Nimrod was the one who built the Tower of Babel to go and try to defeat God. Well, Nimrod has 70 different names, whether that's Osiris or Apollo. Anyways, his birthday is December 25th, which is why we celebrate Christmas on December 25th. He's known for having a long beard, reindeer, and a Christmas tree.
So absolutely none of that is true. Nimrod is mentioned twice in Genesis 10 as a warrior and a mighty hunter before the Lord, and then is referenced in 2 other passages in the Hebrew Bible. And that name is entirely unattested in any other ancient text. And so anything anyone ever says about Nimrod that goes beyond the statement in Genesis 10 that he was a warrior and a mighty hunter before the Lord is 100% made up. That is also not an image of Nimrod. That is an image of an Apkallu, a guardian deity that was carved into the entryway to the throne room of Ashurbanipal II's palace. That was carved around the middle of the 9th century BCE. That's not a reindeer, that's just a regular deer. That's not a Christmas tree, that's a stylized palm tree. No association exists between Nimrod and December 25th. That is 100% made up, and neither Nimrod nor that Apkallu has anything whatsoever to do with the development of Santa Claus or with the date of the celebration of Christmas.
The Christmas tree represents Nimrod's penis.
I'm going to save us some time and point out that literally every single thing that is stated on that website is 100% false, is entirely made up, is not supported by any data whatsoever, and this creator cannot produce any evidence whatsoever for any of those claims.
But Ryan, why is that important, and why should we care?
It's not, we should not, this is also all entirely made up.
Well, in Zechariah chapter 5, it tells us why. And this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. An angel asked Zechariah, "What do you see?" And he says, "This is an ephah." And I know an ephah is a unit of measurement that holds 10 omers, but that is the lead unit that holds. What does that look like, y'all?
That looks like a photo of a small carved disc to which someone has added the word ephah. Even though an ephah holds almost 10 gallons, and that little thing doesn't even hold a liter. This is also 100% made up.
And where do these ephahs bear? And he says, to build a house in the land of Shinar. Where is Shinar? Nimrod was described as the king in the land of Shinar. That is in Iraq.
Shinar is just another name for Babylonia.
Y'all, everything is connected. Everything has a meaning. And I need you to try to wake up as many people as you possibly can.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm telling you right now, please get your house in order. The deception, the end time deception is here, and we are being played like a fiddle, y'all. Get your house in order.
No, you've been played like a fiddle by absolutely asinine conspiracy theories about which you never even bothered to think critically. Please stop spreading misinformation on the internet.